Hello, it's me again, Neil Vorster, your property coach. Today we're going to look at another one of our secrets of the wealthy. Again, in my attempt to try to expose these secrets so that the man in the street can actually get involved in some real wealth themselves, and not always subject to having to rely on insurance companies and so forth to secure your retirement. So that's just one of our main reasons here. So before I get into it again, please feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions, anything property related. If I can answer it right here and now, I will, or I'll do a specific video on your question, and yeah, let's get into it. First is, I can't believe it was raining about 20 minutes ago. And already the sun is out and shining. I love Joburg weather, I tell you. Anyway, let's get on with it. So today we're looking at the 7 reasons why townhouses are great buy-to-let investments. You know, I'm fully into townhouses. I've seen for myself firsthand how awesome they are as an investment vehicle. So I'm going to try and just give you seven reasons why they are great buy-to-let investments. So the first thing is, in any complex, a typical complex might have as many as 200 townhouses in the complex, and that means there are 200 owners roughly. Some people might own more than one, but of those 200, at least I would say half of them are owner-occupiers. In other words, the person living there is actually the owner. Now, very often this is their only property. They have so much vested interest in this property doing well, the complex looking nice. They're going to look after everything. They're your eyes and ears. They're going to make sure that the maintenance is kept up to date, that the place is looking good, so that one day their resale value will be protected. They're very price sensitive, so they're going to keep an eye on the levies. And in most of the complexes I own in, I don't even go to the AGMs. I don't need to. I've got 50 other people with greater vested interest than I have in the complex, and they're doing the work for me. So that's one of the prime ones, is that you've got other people looking after your property for you. So in line with that, the second reason is the caretakers. Especially the bigger complexes, they have live-in caretakers, and a caretaker is somebody that you as the investor must really get to know this guy or this woman. They are a fountain of knowledge about the complex. They know what's going on. They're the ones who will tell you if you've got a bad tenant, because generally a tenant that is bad for the complex is bad for the owner as well. I find a bad paying tenant is often unruly, and then if you have to ever get rid of a tenant, very often the caretaker will work with you. They can do all kinds of things that I won't get into here, but they can really assist you and make your life easy. So yes, caretakers is your number 2. Then the third thing is the body corporate. Now there's a lot of misunderstanding around what actually a body corporate is, but every sectional title complex needs to have by law has a body corporate, and the body corporate is actually, if you own a unit in the complex, you're a member of the body corporate. Then what the body corporate do is they elect a group of trustees, and those trustees look after the affairs of the complex. So again, you've got other people looking after your investment. Now, if you had to go and buy a house, just a normal residential house, it's you looking after that thing. How do you know that the gardens are in good shape? How do you know if the maintenance has been done well without going to inspect it? Whereas here you've got a body corporate, a group of people who are actually volunteering to look after your investment. I tell you, it's priceless. They run the body corporate. They actually normally appoint a managing agent to handle the day-to-day invoicing of levies and so forth, and they're the ones who look after that side of things. So a body corporate is a great big plus to us as investors. And to the new guys joining, welcome. In case you didn't catch the title, if you just joined in now live, we're looking at 7 reasons why townhouses are great buy-to-let investments, and feel free to ask questions. I'll see if I can address them. Okay, so the fourth reason, okay, is security. Now, in South Africa, where security is a major issue, we can't hide the fact that there's crime, and it seems to be getting worse. So for your tenants, for them being in a gated, secure complex is a major plus. Major plus. It's a big attraction. And you have 24-hour, in most of these complexes, you have 24-hour security at the gate and roaming around. You know, they have these buttons that the security guard's he's got to press that button every hour. So there's always a presence. They're always walking around. And your levy is paying for it, but your tenants are getting the benefit. And there's no party, late night party, noisy party that's going to disturb your tenants. No kids that are going to be reckless and ruining your cars of your tenants. Those aren't going to go unpunished. The security guards will pick it up, and the body corporates are normally empowered to fine your tenant, and you in turn as the owner pass that fine on to your tenants. So they keep law in these complexes, and that's brilliant. That's a brilliant reason. So that's your first one is the other owners. Your second reason is the caretakers. Third is the body corporates. Fourth is security. And then fifth, we come to gardens. You know, if I had to compare managing or owning a buy-to-let house or cluster to a buy-to-let townhouse, if you got a cluster or a house and your tenant goes on leave, goes on holiday for 3 or 4 weeks, and he doesn't look after the complex at all, you come back after, or you find out he comes back from leave after 4 weeks, and your garden's a desert. How do you recover from that? You might have to evict your tenant and all kinds of things, and there you've got a desert. Your plants are wrecked and so forth. It takes a long time to recover. Now you're trying to re-let your property with a bad garden. So that's one of the problems of a house. You know, you've got to really have your eyes on it all the time. Whereas in a complex, your body corporate's looking after it. The caretaker's looking after it. Everyone's looking at it. The other owners, you know, when they see that things are getting lax, they're gonna shout. They're very vocal. Okay, and then pricing. The next point, number 6, is pricing. You know, your complexes are often, very often, sectional title complexes are grouped together. So in your development zones in the city, you'll have an area zone for townhouses, and the townhouses all congregate there. So it means that you, as an investor, can very, very accurately establish the right kind of price and the right kind of rental. Price is easy to get to because you get deeds office information, but the rental is the hard thing to peg. Now, as an investor, you want to know if my rental is X, I want to know what kind of price I can pay. You need to look at the price of the property, your bond, and the rental. And if you don't know those figures accurately, you're guessing. So let's not guess. Wealthy people don't guess. Wealthy people do their homework. And in an area where there are lots of townhouses, it's relatively easy to establish market-related rentals and prices. Which brings me on to the last point, which is bond funding. Now, the buy-to-let formula requires that you get bond funding, and you know, as an investor, it's a lower barrier to entry. Firstly, because townhouses are generally cheaper than houses. Okay, and then secondly, not only are they cheaper than houses, but the rentals are higher than you get in a house. And that's because complexes have these resort facilities. They have security. They have gardens that always look good. You know, it's risks that the bank doesn't have to take. So all the reasons why townhouses are good investments for us are good reasons for a bank to give you a bond, which means your bonds are easier to get, and your rentals are higher. Because tenants are really attracted by the security and resort features. So the formula, the buy-to-let formula, means that you're getting a higher rental for your initial purchase. So those are the 7 reasons that I have for buying townhouses, and I'm going to throw an 8th in. It's a little bonus, a bonus, and that's resort facilities. I mentioned it just now. By resort facilities, in fact, I've got a sample here. Let me just zoom. I'm going to flick my camera over to there, and there's a photograph of a complex in North Riding. And so in the background you see the actual townhouses, physical townhouses over here, okay? And then look here, there's a clubhouse, there's a swimming pool, there's another swimming pool over here, which is not shown in picture, playground equipment for the kids, a tennis court, and when I took this photograph, behind me is a squash court. Now, for your tenants, they're effectively living in a timeshare resort. It's amazing. It's an amazing feature, and it makes these complexes very attractive for tenants. So there's my 7 reasons with what bonus for buying townhouses. You know, if you want assistance in actually getting into this market yourself, please hit organicgrowth.co.za/coach. In the comments we've put the address. Find us there, give me a shout, connect with us, and we'll show you how to do this for yourself. Please don't make the mistake of buying a house as a buy-to-let investment or a flat. While I'm on this thing, you know, flats. When I say flats, I mean, you know, you often get in, especially in established residential areas, you'll find a block of flats with some retail below. So on the ground floor, you've got retail, so a couple of shops, and some flats above. And that was the old formula. They're very dangerous. You know, what happens there is, how can you control who's going, unless you own the whole block of flats, you can't control what kind of tenants are going to go in the ground floor. So when you buy your townhouse, you might have lovely tenants in the ground floor, okay? And then things change. 3 or 4 years later, suddenly you've got a bottle store, and next to the bottle store is a sex shop, God forbid. But it happens, and then what happens to your investment? Suddenly, the only tenants you're going to attract are very unsavory characters, and you don't really have much control there. Whereas in a townhouse complex, there's only townhouses. All other investors are in the same boat as you. They all want a good tenant. There's no business can be run in a complex. The security guards will see it. So it makes all of these things make for a very secure investment, and not only very secure investment, but very high return on investment. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow with the next in our series of Secrets of the Wealthy. Thank you very much, and please share this with your mates who are thinking about buying property. I have too many people come to see me, and they've already bought property, but they bought the wrong kind of property. They bought in the wrong place. They've paid the wrong price. So it makes a lot of difference to speak to somebody who's done a lot of experience in this. I've personally been in property for over 30 years, I think, and I've been investing in townhouses myself for about 17 years, and I run a property company where we manage in excess of 200 townhouses. So we know the business, we know what a good deal is, what a bad deal is, so contact us and see if we can help you. Thanks a lot, bye-bye.